Okay, wait a second. I just want to make sure he's not going to turn and wink at the camera. Okay, he's still just a picture. Because you never know. He might just hop in and take over this review. The Merc with the Mouth and The Man with the Claws. Deadpool and Wolverine. You would think after the beautiful tragedy that was Logan that we would never see Hugh Jackman in any Wolverine-esque role ever again, much less sporting the actual Wolverine-style costume from the 90s cartoon and the comics. Well, some of the comics. And you would think, after such a satisfying ending of the previous film, Ryan Reynolds would just want to leave Deadpool to his happy life. Nope! Because we needed this flick. Now, Marvel's cinematic universe has waxed and waned, had some winners and some runners-up. Honestly, I found Captain Marvel to be meh, while Ms. Marvel was just a total American sweetheart. And of course, Infinity War was awesome, and we needed that. But comics aren't just that. Comics are wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey, dimension-hopping insanity where what if is replaced with why not? And this film delivers in spades. You got Deadpool, once again, masterfully played by Ryan Reynolds, being pulled into a situation that is a callback to the Loki series, another really good addition to the Marvelverse. And he not only has to figure out a way to save everyone again, but he's doing it as a fugitive, isn't he always? And he's got to find a way to bring back the Wolverine. Once again, thankfully played by Hugh Jackman, because you can't replace either of them. Reynolds is Deadpool. Jackman is Wolverine. Hopefully in a couple hundred years when they reboot the franchise, or in a few decades or whenever, when they reboot the franchise, they'll have the DNA of these two on standby so they can clone them and have a proper Deadpool and Wolverine again. Because these two cannot be matched. So anyway, first of all, despite his age and maybe some family problems, Hugh Jackman is able to once again seamlessly slip his character on as if he never stopped being the Wolverine. And what's more, since the film's R-rated, we have a proper Wolverine. Now, the Wolverine I grew up with was the one from the 90s cartoon. And personally, I find him to be the quintessential Wolverine, for me at least. Though a couple of other animated Wolverines did a pretty good job. The one from the 90s cartoon is my Wolverine. And Jackman, despite not having the costume the previous times, he became that Wolverine. Much like Tobey Maguire became the Spider-Man from the 90s cartoon. Another one of my childhood heroes. But anyway, now that he's R-rated, he can properly let loose with his claws. Because someone with metal bones, giant claws, and rage problems is not going to be a pacifist. And yeah, this film gets very, very bloody. But in a good way. Because there's practical and CGI blood, and you can't tell which is which. As for Reynolds, once again, he slipped the character on like it was no problem at all. And once again wiped away the stain that was the Thing from X-Men Origins, Wolverine. And yeah, he let's just say he doesn't pull his punches, verbally or physically. You would think he would get annoying after a while, but he just kept making me laugh. And making me cringe in one scene at the very beginning, but cringe in a good way, you know? As for the rest of the cast, plenty of characters returned from the previous 2 films, and some of Logan's films, too. And some of the X-Men films. They were all appreciated, and while some of them may have gotten only a little screen time, it was still fun to see them again, even if some of them might have been played by different actors. This film's main villain also left an impact. You would think that person would be kind of one note, but they were very entertaining. At the same time, very intimidating, because they did things that left you twisting in the wind, metaphorically speaking, and to a degree physically. As for the various environments, they ranged from mundane to fantastical, but not in a Taika Waititi kind of way, in a realistic kind of way. But they were still amazing visuals. The plot, like I said, Deadpool has to work with the Wolverine to save a bunch of people again. And it worked. The story flew by, and even the quiet moments had heart, so you were invested. All the characters were worth investing in. And overall, the action, suspense, drama, comedy, and heart, basically, that went into these characters, and even all the side characters, was well spent. Yeah. Even if this is the only time we get to see Jackman and Reynolds play their characters together, because I'm honestly hoping for several more films, then they finally went out on the best note possible. Even though Logan's death scene in Logan was not to be matched. They've honored their characters, and they've honored the fans. And so did some of the other comic book characters that showed up, played by their original actors. Not to mention one who was a surprise, sort of, but one who was appreciated because their character was played by the actor everyone wanted. I won't spoil it, but let's just say you will remember their name. Not to mention every other character who finally got to not pull any punches. This is Mr. J signing out and reminding you, in comic books, if your character is good enough, they'll never die. And if the character is beloved enough and played by an actor who did it right, that actor will be stuck in that suit for the rest of their life. Sorry, Mr. Jackman, but looks like you'll be playing Wolverine till you're 90, like Reynolds said. But seriously, he could pull it off. Maximum effort, bubs.